Dr. Martin Luther King famously said, "If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward." Given the adversity we've all experienced so far in 2020, keep moving forward could be our new city motto. Our common enemy, coronavirus, has hit us all very hard, medically, economically, and socially. As I speak, we have lost more than 50 of our fellow residents to this awful virus. Their families and friends will never be the same, and their collective pain ripples across our community. As with those grieving loved ones, however, our only choice as a city government and as a community is to continue to move forward, one step at a time. And here we are, still pressing forward and refusing to give up. It's traditional in these speeches to declare the state of our city to be strong, and I will not stray from that tradition. We are strong. Both our city government and the community it serves are showing their true strength every day as we respond to each new challenge that confronts us. As mayor of our great city, I have been amazed and reassured by the community's calm and determined response to this crisis, which is unprecedented in our lifetimes. If we ever doubted it before, we know for certain that we are stronger together, because working together during this crisis, we have achieved some remarkable victories. When the statewide stay-at-home order came down and there was a rush on grocery stores, we realized immediately that many seniors and residents with disabilities would not be able to keep up. Many would be left behind if we didn't intervene on their behalf. So that same day, the Mayor Pro Tem and I contacted grocery store managers and owners and urged them to establish priority shopping times for vulnerable residents. Soon, that practice spread across California. When I realized that many of those residents still might not have enough food to make it through the week, I quickly championed a new service we called Mobile Meals. It helped more than 1,500 seniors and residents with disabilities, providing them with more than 7,100 weekly supplemental nutrition packages through the month of June. And to help protect other especially vulnerable seniors from unnecessary exposure to the virus, we created a meal delivery program called Senior Eats. It brought 2 nutritious meals a day from local restaurants 5 days a week right to their doors. Senior Eats had the added benefit of bringing much needed business to local restaurants that are struggling to stay afloat during the crisis. And we hosted 2 food distribution events that helped thousands of mobile families struggling with food insecurity, most for the very first time. We provided some relief for renters by prohibiting landlords from adding late fees or other charges to rent payments that were late or short due to the crisis. Instead, we encouraged landlords and tenants to work together in good faith and come to a mutually beneficial arrangement. We also approved a rental assistance program using community development block grant funding to help residents whose income was affected by the crisis. To keep our business community moving forward, we developed the Forward Mobile Small Business Grant Program to benefit businesses hurt by the pandemic. Forward Mobile provided emergency grants of $7,500 to help 45 local small businesses create or retain jobs for low and moderate income workers. And to make it possible for restaurants and personal care service providers to serve more customers by moving operations outdoors, we created a simple, no-cost online permit process, and we waived the fee. We also kept up a steady volume of calls and letters to our county, state, and federal representatives to advocate for more funding, not just for the city, but also for schools, childcare, food banks, and our many residents and businesses struggling day to day, trying to survive the crisis. Truly, your City Hall, including me, has been working around the clock. When the governor declared a state of emergency, we took immediate action to restrict public access to city facilities to help slow the spread of the virus. But we found ways to continue providing essential city services by making certain modifications. For example, we all learned what Zoom is. It's been a valuable tool for us, ensuring that residents can still take part in public meetings, conduct business with the city, and meet with their elected officials. And I want to thank our residents for their patience and support as together we worked our way around the coronavirus to keep pressing forward as a community. And I want to offer a very special thank you for our dedicated city employees. In their roles as official disaster service workers, our city employees have reported to work each day throughout this crisis, putting in long hours to keep city government up and running, like the staff who kept our Employment Resource Center open throughout. They're helping people apply for unemployment and find work and matching local business owners with available state and federal resources to help them stay afloat until they can fully reopen and bring back their employees. We also helped boost community morale by arranging for things like the car parades at Renaissance Village on Mother's and Father's Day. Those events let our seniors know that they were in our thoughts, even if they couldn't be with their families. And the drive-through graduation ceremony we staged for the excited little preschoolers in our Time for Tots program, and the special lightings of the M on Box Springs Mountain to honor healthcare workers and our city's class of 2020 high school graduates. Our city employees work above and beyond their job descriptions at times to provide that all-important human touch that's made this crisis just a little easier to bear for our residents. I call them our city heroes. On our website, we've actually compiled a pretty long list of ways that our city government has responded to the situation. If you're so inclined, please take a moment to go online and see how much your city cares. I promise you will not find a more comprehensive effort from almost any other city in California. And throughout the crisis, we've worked hard to keep both English and Spanish-speaking residents informed on a near daily basis by using all the communication tools at our disposal. If you haven't already, be sure to go to moval.org/social to stay informed by subscribing to our various communication channels. Even with as much as we accomplish, some things like deciding which businesses are essential and when other businesses could reopen have been beyond our control. We took the orders from the state and the county seriously, and most Moreno Valley residents continue to do the right things: physical distancing, wearing masks, and washing hands. But no one is doing their part more heroically than our brave healthcare workers. From the start, they have continued to put their own health at greater risk each day to save the lives of those stricken with this awful disease. That's why this year's first Community Leadership Award is called the Healthcare Heroes Award. In recognition of all our local healthcare workers, it is presented to the heroic staff at our two hospitals, Riverside University Health System and Kaiser Permanente. Coronavirus is so cruel that it hasn't stopped at attacking people's health. It's also attacked our collective sense of economic security and well-being. Before the coronavirus crisis, we had created 21,000 good new local jobs over the past 7 years. And more of our residents than ever before had been able to trade their long commutes into LA and Orange counties for well-paying jobs closer to home and family. More than 4,500 businesses called Moreno Valley home. When the virus struck, about half those businesses had to close at least temporarily, and some business owners found that they just couldn't continue and were forced to close permanently. And today, 5 months into this crisis, too many of our residents remain out of work as the economy is slowly awakening from the induced coma it's been in. But there's also some good news for our local economy. There was a time when some observers thought our economic development focus on logistics and healthcare was misguided. But during this crisis, it's been specifically these two industries that have continued to thrive. So logistics and healthcare remain a focus of our economic development strategy. We also continue to work to bring even more national, international, and Fortune 500 companies to Moreno Valley. Like one of our newer business community members, Solaris Paper. Solaris is a leading manufacturer and distributor of high-quality paper towel and tissue products, and it currently employs 200 people in our community. Solaris is also a generous community partner. The company donated 150 pallets of paper products that we included in our mobile meals care packages. So I'm happy to present this year's Community Leadership Award for Large Business to Solaris Paper. This year, in the small business category, the Community Leadership Award goes to a company that supports the warehouse storage industry and helps make logistics possible. At full capacity, United Material Handling, or UMH, employs 45 people in our community. And UMH is also a generous community partner that contributed surgical masks to our first responders and donated money to help support the Mobile Meals program I mentioned earlier. So it's my pleasure to present the Community Leadership Award for Small Business to United Material Handling. Economically, despite the challenges we face, we continue to press forward. An important part of our economic development plan is investing in our public infrastructure, and that work has continued throughout this coronavirus crisis. For example, in the past year, our Public Works Department has repaired about 10,000 potholes. To put that in perspective, assuming an average pothole needs about a cubic foot of asphalt, those repaired potholes would stack up all the way to the M on Box Springs Mountain 3 times over. And crews have repaired and improved close to 30 miles of city roadways, about the total driving distance from Moreno Valley to Rancho Cucamonga. And you might be interested to know that our Parks and Community Services Department maintains an amazing 528 acres of city parkland and manages more than 15 miles of multi-use trails, adding another 91 acres to their area of responsibility. Our city can be proud of having 32 beautiful parks, including 2 skate parks, a golf course, a dog park, an equestrian center, 4 community centers, and a senior center. Soon, we'll add another beautiful public facility to that list when we cut the ribbon on the brand new Santiago Park next to March Middle School. If you've driven Alexander Boulevard recently, you may have noticed that Moreno Valley's beautiful new amphitheater at the Civic Center is almost finished, right on schedule. It's going to be a very special venue and will be a wonderful addition to our community, a cultural showcase, and a beautiful family-friendly gathering place once we're free to safely gather again. Our civic investments also include an extensive offering of very popular recreation opportunities. For example, in 2019, our Parks and Community Services Department conducted 48 sports leagues and clinics. It also offered more than 80 contract classes. That's an amazing 5,600 class sessions for 10,000 residents from toddlers to seniors. In all, we budgeted more than $9 million for recreational programs, and every penny of it is money well spent as it adds tremendously to our community's quality of life. Of course, for the protection of our residents, we have altered many of our courses to meet physical distancing guidelines or have moved them online. And although many residents may not be aware of it, the city also invests in education. At the college level, 2 innovative programs are helping students stay in school and complete their degrees. The Promise Initiative provides a total of $50,000 to help pay student fees at Moreno Valley College. The unique award-winning Mobile Learns Mayor's Challenge is a program that I created that invests $100,000 to help qualifying students at Moreno Valley College stay and finish their degrees. It provides a monthly stipend for 8 months to help them avoid having to leave school for a low-wage job just to pay the bills. The Mobile Learns Mayor's Challenge program is changing lives. And earlier this summer, it was honored by the International City/County Management Association with its Local Government Excellence Award in the category of Community Diversity and Inclusion. We help younger students too. Moreno Valley's after-school extended learning program uses $9 million from the state to fund the Think Together program at elementary and middle schools in the Moreno Valley and Val Verde Unified School Districts. That improves public safety and provides peace of mind for thousands of working parents who don't get home until several hours after school lets out. And I am so proud to report to you that our after-school extended learning program was honored just last month by the League of California Cities with its Helen Putnam Award for Excellence. It's the highest award bestowed on any city project or program in the state of California. Of course, we're discussing with the state and our school district and Think Together partners how the program will look once in-person school eventually resumes. But I'm certain it will remain just as outstanding and important and deserving of awards as it has been. And to support learning for the entire community, this fall the city will proudly open our third public library to complement our main and mall branch locations. It's a beautiful, state-of-the-art facility located at the southeast corner of Iris and Paris. I am also proud that we are such a pet-friendly community. As a city, we have demonstrated our commitment to pets by providing outstanding animal rescue, shelter, and adoption services. In 2019, the animal shelter found positive outcomes for more than 4,400 dogs and cats. The shelter has continued its important work on an appointment-only basis throughout the virus crisis. And it was even awarded $46,000 in grants to improve the cattery and to subsidize the cost of spay and neuter services. I have to admit to having a soft spot in my heart for the work they do because I adopted my own 2 beautiful dogs from the animal shelter. Despite the virus, a total of $400 million worth of commercial development projects have also continued pressing on and transforming our city in the process. Our focus on healthcare took another great stride forward when we gave final approval for Kaiser Medical Center's 20-year phased-in expansion plan. The ambitious development will add more than 1.1 million square feet of medical services space, including an expansion of a current 100-bed hospital to an eventual 460-bed facility. And Riverside University Health System opened its beautiful new medical office building earlier this year as it continues to expand its presence in our community. These 2 outstanding healthcare facilities bring both new medical services and new temporary and permanent job opportunities to Moreno Valley, and further establish our city as a leading healthcare provider in the Inland Empire. The beautiful new quarter project at Day and Eucalyptus, which features brand new hospitality and commercial development, is so attractive and so successful it's already won a California Economic Development Award. Its beautiful new hotels will be filled to capacity when we get past the coronavirus. And the district project at Heacock and Hemlock has successfully transformed a blighted, nearly abandoned strip mall into a vibrant, attractive new commercial development anchored by floor and decor. 4 new light industrial buildings are nearing completion there, and more tenants are being recruited as we speak. Also helping drive our economy forward is the brand new Kia dealership, a welcome addition that's nearly ready to open its doors at the Auto Mall. And Tractor Supply Company, providing lawn and garden and farm and ranch supplies, plans to open a new store in Stone Ridge Town Center on Eucalyptus. Construction of the second Skechers building is underway, bringing many construction jobs and close to 1,800 permanent positions when complete. And speaking of transformations, on the horizon is a super exciting town center project at Nason and Alessandro, which will feature a beautiful and inviting mix of residential, commercial, and recreational amenities. The town center will eventually become Moreno Valley's exciting new downtown core. And earlier this summer, the City Council gave its approval to the revised final environmental impact report for the $3 billion World Logistics Center. It's an important project that will eventually bring 13,000 construction jobs and 20,000 permanent jobs to our community. Good, new local jobs that will keep workers close to home and family. Speaking of jobs, our economic development strategy also focuses on helping Moreno Valley residents connect with local employers, which is especially important during this crisis. For example, the City Council recently approved an important new community workforce agreement to put Moval workers first. It's a partnership between the City of Moreno Valley and local and regional labor groups with a goal to create good, high-paying, high-quality construction jobs for local residents on public works projects valued at $1 million or more. The Employment Resource Center that I mentioned earlier and our higher Moval employment incentives that also put local workers first are supported by nearly $500,000 invested annually. Forward. Regardless of the coronavirus, we continue to move forward. Guiding all this wonderful new economic development is Moreno Valley's general plan. It serves as a kind of blueprint for where development can take place and what infrastructure is needed to support it. This year, with a mix of public meetings, information events, and surveys, we've been engaging our residents in the process of updating the more than 20-year-old plan. and asking them to envision our city 20 years from now in the year 2040. It's an exciting opportunity to shape the city's future, and we expect the new general plan to be ready in 2021. One of the most important elements of the general plan is public safety. Ultimately, public safety is always our very first concern because residents need to be safe for meaningful community progress to take place. But for too long, like most other communities across the country, we have thought of public safety as primarily a police responsibility. When you call 911, unless it's a fire or medical emergency, it's police who get sent to respond. But not every emergency requires a response from men and women trained to be able to respond with force if necessary. It's time we took a good, hard look at all the things we're asking police to do today and whether it all fits into their area of expertise and actually improves public safety. And whether public safety might be improved by reallocating resources to services and professionals trained to help in situations that don't require force. In fact, we've already taken steps in that direction with our successful Homeless to Work program. Instead of assuming that people who are without shelter are criminals and calling police to force them to move along, we treat them as neighbors in need. So we offer compassion, a willingness to listen, and a helping hand to bring them back into the community. We work in partnership with the Salvation Army, guided by the belief that all humans are equal and worthy. Together, we helped many people regain their dignity and come in from the street by providing them with critical support services and help finding work. Why do we take this approach? Ultimately, it's a matter of being smart when it comes to public safety, because both common sense and factual data tell us the same thing, that people who have jobs and hope for the future rarely commit crimes. So rethinking what we mean by public safety and reevaluating what we really want our police officers to do is one of the goals of our newly created Citizens Public Safety Committee. It includes 5 community members, 2 nonprofit members representing the faith community, and 2 local business owners. Along with Mayor Pro Tem Baca and Councilwoman Thornton and representatives of the City Manager's Office and our police and fire departments, the committee will serve in an advisory capacity to the City Council regarding public safety concerns, including those arising from racism. Related to that, and in response to the horrific killing of George Floyd, Councilwoman Thornton proposed and the City Council unanimously approved a resolution committing our city government to anti-racism principles. It also declared individual and institutional racism to be a public health concern. I'm eager to see the progress of the Citizens Public Safety Committee. This year, our city's first responders, the brave men and women who rushed toward danger, faced even more of it as they now do their jobs while risking exposure to the coronavirus. When police make a traffic stop, for example, or firefighters respond to an emergency, they never know for sure what they'll find waiting for them. But this year, the danger has been heightened by the possibility of coronavirus infection. And I'm sad to report that several Riverside County Sheriff's deputies were infected, most likely in the line of heroic duty, and did succumb to COVID-19. Our first responders accept the dangerous nature of their work, but to be brought down by a virus seems like an unfairly cruel fate. But still, they carry on and press forward, always forward, sometimes coming to the rescue of little ones who can't even express their thanks. Like this little cat whose curiosity got the better of it, and who somehow managed to get its head stuck in the center of a car wheel. This photo of Moreno Valley's firefighters carefully cutting the steel wheel to come to the rescue made news all over the country. The wheel was a complete loss, but the cat's remarkable rescue was a complete success, and it reflected well on our city. Feel-good stories like that one are especially appreciated these days and will continue to be in the difficult days ahead. Predicting the future is almost always a risky bet. Remember when the experts predicted the virus infection rate would decline in the summer? Instead, the virus came roaring back and infection rates hit new records as too many Californians let down their guard and their masks. Now it seems the only safe bet is that coronavirus will keep coming at us again and again until we eventually find a vaccine. We know how to fight back. with mass and physical distancing and hand washing and a healthy dose of common sense and common courtesy. We have to fight back as hard as we can and never let up again. As Dr. King implored us, whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. This awful virus is going to keep attacking us all along the way. So we have to keep our guard up, fight back, and keep moving forward until we win. As a city and as a community, we've come too far and been through too much to let our guard down again. For us, there's only one path available, and it leads in only one direction. Together, we have to keep moving forward. Thank you for joining me for this year's State of the City event. I wish all residents of our beautiful city continued health and safety.